Welcome back to the Daily Stack. Today, it's August 27th, 2025. This is not financial advice, unless you think market wisdom comes free with a Ledger wallet. In that case, let's stack it.
Crypto chaos, it's a hustle, not a game. Spin the wheel, feel the thrill, chase a blockchain fame.
Bitcoin had a rough weekend. It slipped under 110,000 for the first time yesterday in about 7 weeks. The charts look tired. We're talking 4% down for the week and almost $1 billion in liquidations, most of that on the long side. Think of it as like your buddy who ordered one more round at last call, convinced the night was just getting started, only to wake up broke and shoeless. After that dip, Ethereum does look relatively strong on the longer time frames. Traders are watching to see if the bounce comes faster for Ethereum or if it's just going to track Bitcoin like its loyal shadow. The Ethereum strength is keeping traders on edge. Is this the long-awaited decoupling or just a fake out before Bitcoin drags everyone back down with it? And the NFT market didn't escape either. Blue chip projects like Pudgy Penguins and Bored Ape Yacht Club saw losses. CryptoPunks just held the line, proving that sometimes doing nothing is the real flex. NFT volumes have been slowly bleeding out over the summer, and today's price action just adds to that narrative that the JPEG fatigue is real. For anyone still holding diamond hands or denial, your call. It's worth watching floor price compression closely in case we start seeing some major capitulation sweeps. Analysts are buzzing about Remedix, ticker RTX, hyping its so-called 100x potential after pulling in $21.5 million in pre-sale. It's got a beta wall coming that promises to juggle 42 cryptos and 30 fiats. Sounds like your uncle at Thanksgiving juggling mashed potatoes and gravy. Messy, but entertaining. The team claims they're building decentralized remittance layer with built-in Forex rails. But let's be real, until there's a working product with some actual traction outside of the token vending machine with a slick website, we file this under watch, don't FOMO. Still, this kind of pre-sale demand, it could turn into a trader's playground post-TGE. Cardano, Chainlink, and XRP also got roped into the potential mooners chatter, though the prices today were flat to down. Think of them as background characters in this week's crypto soap opera. Lots of screen time, but not much dialogue. And an institutional and regulatory spotlight, FinCEN popped up again, reminding everyone that they've got their eyes on crypto kiosks. Yes, apparently, the sketchy mall kiosk next to Auntie Anne's Pretzels is part of the fight against financial crime now. The SEC put Judge Margaret Ryan in charge of enforcement, which basically means more lawsuits and longer hours for every crypto lawyer you've ever seen on CNBC. The CFTC and Treasury are asking for feedback on digital asset policies, and you know that's going to bring about 50,000 identical PDF responses that say, number go up. And the Department of Justice clarified that writing open source code, it's not a crime. Good news for every developer who thought they'd get arrested for committing to GitHub after dark. Also in spotlight, Winklevoss twins launched a pro-crypto super PAC because apparently the rowing team decided the real regatta is in Washington. Also worth noting, Paradigm confirmed they're still sitting on over half of their $850 million crypto investment fund. That means serious dry powder is still on the sidelines. And when that kind of capital deploys, it doesn't usually go into dog coins. It goes into infrastructure, middleware, tokenized assets, something to keep in mind when zooming out on this cycle. Corporate moves. Here's the big one. Trump Media teamed up with Crypto.com to launch a treasury firm focused on Kronos.
So this is a joint venture between both Crypto.com and Trump Media Group, forming a new company. Has to get approved by the SEC, but that company will be a treasury. All it will hold is CRO, Kronos. And a lot of people are familiar with the Bitcoin treasury that's out there that Michael Saylor put together. And these have been popular this year. And I think that every major token is going to have one of these treasuries.
They're calling it Trump Media Group CRO strategy, which sounds less like a business plan and more like a villain faction in a Marvel spinoff. The deal is structured through SPAC with Yorkville Acquisition Corp under the ticker MCGA. Yes, make Kronos great again. The package includes 1 billion CRO tokens, 200 million in cash, 220 million in warrants, and $5 billion equity line. Trump Media is scooping up $105 million in CRO, while Crypto.com throws in $50 million for the Trump Media stock. CRO immediately ripped between 32 and 33% on the news. Trump Media stock jumped about 5%. Yorkville, the S-Pack dropped slightly, proving once again the middleman will always get dumped on. And this isn't just some headline-grabbing stunt. The structure should suggest a legit liquidity funnel between media influence and token acquisition. You can bet every other chain with treasury model is watching to see what kind of precedent this sets. And now let's cover some on-chain signals. BitGet made some sign with its latest proof of reserve audit showing 138% reserve ratio. That's not just healthy, that's CrossFit in a garage healthy. Exchanges usually brag about 1-to-1. They also reported increased inflows during recent volatility, suggesting retail still trusts their custody stack despite market jitters. If these metrics hold the next quarter, BitGet could start inching closer to Binance and OKX in terms of user dominance. VersaBank USA kicked off a pilot USD VBs tokenized versions of real cash deposits. Translation: your bank account built on chain. It's kind of boring infrastructure news that doesn't move memes, but might actually move the future of payments. Real fiat, real rails, real compliance. Here's some forecasts and hot takes. Peter Schiff's perennial gold bug was back at it today, warning Bitcoin could collapse to $75,000, well below MicroStrategy's average buy-in price of $115,850. Schiff says holders should sell now and try to buy back later. Classic Schiff. He's been calling Bitcoin top since it was $20, so either this is a redemption arc or another chapter in boomers yell at Bitcoin. What's interesting is that his latest rant is gaining a little more attention than usual, mostly because some macro guys are starting to whisper about deflation risk again. If that chatter grows, don't be surprised if gold gets its moment, but that doesn't mean Bitcoin can't follow. Remember, if rate drops and liquidity starts flooding back, everything floats, even the rocks. And that brings us to the tip of the day. Don't let the hype around new partnerships or token launches trick you into chasing green candles blindly. When you see CRO up 30% on a Trump headline, remember, markets love to front run the news. And what pumps headlines can just as easily dump on reality. Zoom out, look for volume confirmation, and if you're in, use a stop loss tighter than your uncle's Christmas budget. As they say in poker, sometimes the right move is folding even with pocket aces if the table is stacked against you. That's your daily stack today. Markets are shaky, Ethereum's flexing, Trump's launching S-Packs with Crypto.com, and Peter Schiff still wants you to sell your bags. Only ever click the official hardware link in the episode description. Skip Discord promos, Twitter DMs, or meme giveaway hypes. Your keys remain sacred. Stack smart, stack daily, and I'll see you DJs tomorrow.
Code is law, yeah, the stakes are steep. The grind don't stop, no time for sleep. Crypto chaos, it's a